A new ship.
One of the fastest liners ever launched. She will carry 2,000 passengers in air-conditioned comfort.
Carrying 3,000 souls is a veritable floating city.
She carries 1,700 passengers on her first trip.
Streamlined giant rests the blue riband of the Atlantic.
Crossing without the blue riband.
As she drove through a blinding gale to win the blue riband, the United States, fastest liner in the world, proudly approaches Le Havre, and the French turn out to give a royal welcome to the new Queen of the Atlantic.
Ocean liners inhabited a niche role in our world. They were a symbol of class and luxury. Their goal was to move people across an ocean as quickly and comfortably as possible. But the ocean lines didn't want to just be quick. The liners had to be the fastest in the world. Ever since we could run, we have been racing each other. Crossing the ocean was no different. Unofficially, many ships competed with each other crossing the Atlantic in the 19th century. Retroactively, these races would be considered into the Blue Riband, an award given to passenger liners crossing the Atlantic in the shortest amount of time. Famously, the RMS Titanic is debated to have been competing for the Blue Riband during its icy North Atlantic crossing in 1912. The competition throughout the 20th century largely consisted of Germany, France, and Britain. With the RMS Mauretania, Britain held the record for almost 20 years. After the Second World War, it was becoming clearer that the ocean was not going to be the most effective way to get across the Atlantic. Technological advancements during the war allowed planes to soar over the Atlantic in hours. But during the war, ocean liners were essential for moving large quantities of troops. The United States government was impressed by Britain's Queen Mary and Elizabeth and ordered a steamship of their own. The SS United States was the fastest ever passenger ship to cross the Atlantic, making the trip in 3 days and 12 hours. When ships truly started competing for the Blue Riband, it took nearly 5 days. The first ever retroactive winner of the Riband took 18. But the fate of the ocean liner was already sealed at this point. 17 years after her launch, the United States completed her final commercial voyage across the Atlantic. Since then, the ship has been through many changes of hands, each with different ideas to bring the ship a new form of glory. A hotel, a casino, and even being considered as a cruise ship. But of course, all of these plans fell through. Now, what is left is a rotting relic of the past. The only thing keeping the ship afloat are donations from the general public and various philanthropists. If the ship's rocky past is anything to go by, the future has rough seas ahead. But, with anything, nothing is impossible. The ship deserves to keep her spot in American history and continue on into tomorrow.